so I got nominated for the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge thing majig for ALS by Limitless, and I'm not looking forward to this. I have my bucket of water, and yeah, so my nominations are JA, or Judgment Awaits, Clee, who says he's already doing it, Lone Ranger, Tabs, who's already doing something else, or Taboo Lexicon, and Diana,
and my bro Geek, or WhoDatGeek.
Who was my other one? AZ or Aztec Mr. On. So alright, let's do this thing. And this blows. It's so cold. I don't want to do it. Alright. 3, 2, 1. It's so cold.
Alright, man. Link will be in the description for y'all to donate to ALS. I'm gonna go make my donation. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Alright, so what's up, people? It's FIFA 11 Skills Fan here, or Leechman, and I'm back with another commentary. As y'all just saw, I had to do the Ice Bucket Challenge because I got nominated by Limitless. Bro, I'm gonna get you back. But anyway, since I don't know that much about it, I know it's about Lou Gehrig's disease, which affects your muscles and eventually shuts down your entire body and stuff like that. I don't know that much about it, so I decided to bring somebody who is better and more of an expert in this field about it. So I'm gonna turn it over to my sister, and I'm just gonna ask her a couple questions about it so you guys can get more involved, or rather more knowledgeable about the topic, rather than you just doing the Ice Bucket Challenge and not knowing what it's about. But anyway, let's get into it. My sister is on the phone, so if the quality isn't that good, just bear with me. Alright, so what's up, sis?
Hey, how you doing?
Alright, so that's my sister. She's on the phone. So what is the ALS? What is ALS?
ALS is also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or Lou Gehrig's disease, like you called it. It's a progressive disease where the neurons in your body they degenerate, and so they come from either your brain or your spinal cord, and they degenerate, and it affects both the upper motor neurons in the brain and the lower motor neurons. So it affects mostly the muscles. It prevents you from doing the things that you need to do. The motor neurons usually they degenerate until they die. And so when they die, the individual with ALS loses the ability to control muscle movement. So you can't, the things that you and I do every day that we find so easy, like climbing up the stairs, feeding ourselves, breathing, talking, they are unable to do it. They lose all voluntary muscle, and sometimes even the involuntary muscle. They become totally paralyzed, which is what eventually leads to the person's death, because it will eventually cause
heart failures.
No, not heart failure. More like paralysis of the respiratory muscles, and so they can't breathe, and so they basically suffocate because they can't breathe, and so most of the time they are on beds until eventually, the person passes away.
I didn't know that it took over the respiratory, so that's interesting to know. So like, are people born with it, or is it something that they grow into, like kind of like older people start losing muscle memory and stuff like that? Not really muscle memory, but older people start losing muscle functions and they start losing bodily control of their body. Is it something that is done with age, or is it something that some people just get at a really young age and it just grows with them?
It's a genetic disease, so technically it's passed on from generations. People are more likely to have it if somebody, say their dad, their granddad had it, so it's genetic.
Okay.
But I don't know that well, see, if it's genetic, you're definitely born with it, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you, I know you work with different types of patients where they kind of have to relearn their muscles and stuff like that. Have you ever had any of this type?
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. Have you had anything close to it that you could describe what it might be like, or something like that?
Say what?
Have you had any kind of patients where they've kind of lost, they've kind of slowly lost their bodily functions, not like total paralysis, but something where they just had gradually started losing their muscles and stuff like that?
No, the majority of patients that I've worked with, it's a complication from either a stroke, a brain injury, a car accident, a surgery.
Okay.
That they've had it, or they're obese, and they generally, when you're obese and it hurts so much to move, eventually you get to where you can't move because you've not been moving.
Yeah.
Because it hurts to move. So, yeah.
Okay.
And I did tell you wrong. Although ALS can be hereditary,
Yeah.
in some people it just starts. It just comes up. Don't know what causes it. It just starts.
Is there a way, like with this whole ALS organization and raising funds for it, is it just to do research on it to see if there is a cure at the end, or is there currently a way for them to maybe give the person bodily strength and function even though they're going through it right now?
It's mostly to find research for it.
Okay. Okay, so there's as of now, there's no cure, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a drug that has promised that, they're researching that has promised in treating ALS, but as of today, right now, me and you having a conversation, there's no cure.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, thank you, sis, for doing this. I didn't know about the respiratory thing at all, and I really appreciate you doing this and informing us who don't really know that much about it. Because as you know, I'm a engineering dude who doesn't like biology at all. So I appreciate you doing this.
No problem. Something else, it affects not just like breathing, it affects their speech also, their swallowing. So that eventually they might be able to smell food, but they can't feed themselves. They can't swallow, so they can't eat the kind of foods that you and I eat.
So how do they get fed? Like with a tube, kind of like when somebody's in a coma or something?
Yeah. Yes, they have peg tubes.
Are they awake when those are being fed? Because I know those things are being put down your throat, right?
Not necessarily. A peg tube is a tube that they put through your abdominal wall into your stomach, so the food goes directly to your stomach.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so they teach people sometimes to do it for themselves. If it's going to be a lifelong issue,
yeah, they
teach people to do it themselves. But a person with ALS cannot even do that themselves.
Because they can't move at all.
Yes, so they have a caregiver most of the time.
Okay.
That does all this for them. And because it affects all your voluntary muscles, so it also affects their speech. Yeah. They can't tell you anything.
I have a question. Oh, no. I don't think that's what's with that professor dude, Stephen Hawkins. That was a stroke or something, right?
Yes. Stephen Hawkins was it was not ALS.
Okay.
I forget what he has, but I'm pretty sure it was not ALS.
Alright. Cool. I know a baseball player. The name of Lou Gehrig's is a baseball player who had ALS, and that's why it's kind of named after him. It became popular after he had it, and it got popularized, and people heard of it after he became, he was a famous baseball player. So because he had it, it became an issue, and that's how it became a thing. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace, sis. Anything to say?
Well, this is no, thank you. Bye.
Alright. She says peace. She doesn't have anything else to say. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless y'all. Peace. Bye.